maximum number of individual or the population can survive or support it in any kind of environment or any kind of area, that is known as the carrying capacity. Hello everyone. So last time we have covered the topic of ecosystem and ecology, and we have ended the topic at the carrying capacity. So we'll just revise this concept for a quick, and then we'll continue further. Okay. So what is carrying capacity? Carrying capacity is a maximum number of individual or the population can survive or support it in any kind of environment or any kind of area, that is known as the carrying capacity. It is denoted through N, K. So what is the definition? Maximum number of individual can survive or supported with the present or optimal resources of that area. Optimal resources of the area. Okay. Like in particular area, that maximum number of resources available. Like if we consider to survive the population or to the growth of the population, there are some kind of resources are required, right? So that resources, after the exhausting or after the reaching at that level where the resources are the limited, the resources are the constant, resources are not increasing, the population cannot support it furthermore. For this we can see there are the growth of the population, okay, time, population density, So suppose किसी भी एरिया की, like of any area, the carrying capacity is here. Okay. So there are two kind of growth, right? So two kind of population. We were studying about the population, right? So two kind of population growth. Two kind of population growth. The first is exponential, and the second is logistic, right? The graph of this kind of exponential is made as like J-shaped curve. The graph is like J-shaped curve, and of this is S-shaped. Okay. Unlimited resources, and logistic growth curve has a limited resources. We see through these two things, we see the kind of population growth. Okay. So the limited resources, that is not actually in the real situation. So like everything is limited, right? So the resources are limited. So on the basis of that, this is the J-shaped graph curve, and this is the logistic. Okay. So यहाँ तक हम लोग ने last time पे cover कर लिया था. Now we'll see the population interaction. This is one of the important topic. This is the population interaction. Here you will see that population of the same species also, and there is a different kind of interaction in our environment of the population. Like some population supports to each other, some kind of interaction supports to each other, some kinds of population, some kinds of interaction like opposed to each other, some have just don't have that kind of impact. Okay, so the various kind, the first is the interaction between the organism A and organism, or we can see the species also, but there are some also kind of interaction within the same species, so that's why we are not writing the species. Okay, so what kind of interaction? Just be friendly with the word mutualism. Second is proto cooperation. Third is commensalism. Fourth is parasite, and predations also we can include in that, predatory or the predations. Fifth is competition. The sixth is amensalism. Okay. So in the mutualism, this is a kind of population where both species are in the benefit, are in the plus, like both organism benefit in that kind of interaction. When the both species or the both interaction benefit with each other, that kind of interaction is known as a mutualism. The same with the proto cooperation. I'll explain the difference between the mutualism and the proto cooperation. Okay, so commensalism is plus and zero. Plus means one of the organism of this interaction will get benefit, but other organisms will have a neutral impact. Okay, so the other species or the other organism doesn't have mandatorily the positive or the negative impact, it's a like neutral impact. Okay, so the parasitum, the one species will get benefit and the other species will get the negative impact. The competition is minus and minus most of the time, and the amensalism is minus and zero. In amensalism kind of interaction, there is one species get the negative impact, the other species is just no impact. Okay, so first of all, what we see the difference is mutualism and proto cooperation, because we are seeing the both have the plus and the plus sign. So in the mutualism, both of the species live a kind of in a close relationship, that is called as obligate kind of relationship. Okay, so obligate condition. Both species condition live in contract or with the close relationship with each other, but in the proto cooperation it is not mandatory, non-obligatory. Okay, here we just see mutualism example. The sign is plus and plus, means both organisms or species in such interaction get benefit with each other. Okay, get benefit with each other, such as example is lichen, right? Lichen is interaction with the fungi and algae, in which we see fungi is dependent on the algae, or they get benefit by getting the nutrition, as algae is autotrophous organisms. So what it does, algae make the food through the process of the photosynthesis that fungi depends on, and fungi provide the support or or absorb the nutrition from the soil and from the environment of area. That is beneficial for the algae. So in the lichen, both organisms like fungi and algae both are in the benefit of each other. Okay, so second is there is a protozoa. There is a protozoa named Trichonympha. What is the name? Trichonympha. Lives in the digestive system of termite. In the digestive system of termite. Okay. So how both of these organisms get benefit? Termite feeds on the woods, right? So woods में क्या होता है? Cellulose होता है. So Trichonympha helps to digest the cellulose for the termites, and how the Trichonympha get the nutrition with the help of this digestion. Okay, so we see even in the lichen and in this kind of interaction, both are the species living a kind of close relationship with each other. The next is proto-cooperation. This is also plus. Generally we see, if we have ever go the village areas or the generally also, we see the crow or the small birds sits generally on the like mammals में ऐसे गाय और भैंसों पे अक्सर आके बैठ जाते हैं, and they just feed on the small microorganisms from that big animals. Okay, so this is also, but they just don't depend on each other for their survival, right? So they don't live very in a close association with each other. Okay, so small birds feeds on microorganisms or insects of the body living on the body of mammals like buffalo. Okay, so what we see, they just don't live with each other. So this is non-obligatory kind of interaction. The next is commensalism. What is next? Commensalism. The interaction is the one species get benefit and the other will have no impact. How we see the example of that? There's a very common example of this mutualism also. Fig pollination through wasp, है ना? So wasp क्या करता है इसमें? Wasp is a kind of insect. Okay, so that live inside the fig flower or the fig fruit. Fig fruit we can say. He lays his eggs. That organism lays his eggs inside the fig fruit, and in benefit of that, fig जो flowers होते हैं, fig की जो flowering होती है, उसकी pollination में जो होते हैं, ये wasp जो होते हैं बहुत help करते हैं, है ना? So this is also one of that example. The next is plus and minus. Here, one species get benefit and other will have no such impact or neutral. How? Where we see that? Remora. Small fishes, example is small fishes, remora. We have seen when we see the large fishes swim in that sea or the oceans, we see the close enough, there are small fishes also. So what they do, वो जो खाते हैं, like बड़ी फिशेस जो भी फीड करते हैं, इससे छोटे छोटे पार्टिकल्स, उनकी फूड पार्टिकल्स होते हैं, वो बच के ऐसे गिरते रहते हैं आसपास. So that small fishes feeds on that small particles what the large fishes have the eaten. Okay, so small fishes living close to shark, okay, for remaining food particles of big fish or the shark. Big fish or the shark. So here what we are seeing, small fishes are getting benefit. Okay, so they are, because they are dependent on the food for the on the shark. So but shark doesn't have any kind of positive or negative impact. So shark here is a species 2 or the other organisms, and the remora or the small fishes are the positive. The next is parasites. Parasite we have seen, the one species get benefit and the other species is the impact negatively. So there are 3 kind of parasites: ectoparasites, endoparasites and brood parasites. Okay, so how the one of or the organisms get benefit and the other is not, like tick on dogs, where tick is a species, tick is one of this species who is getting benefit because they sucks the blood of that animal, and the dog are this species because they are getting negative impact, है ना, blood sucking, and they causing many diseases also. So blood sucking animals, whatever the blood sucking animals lives on this large or the big animals are the comes under this kind of ectoparasite or the parasite kind of interaction. Okay, endoparasites, because they are living, ecto means bahar, okay, like upper, like outer body mein. Ectoparasite, you have seen the human lices also living in the hair roots on the humans, they are also example of that ectoparasites. Okay, the endoparasite is very common, the malaria parasite, that is plasmodium, that is malarial parasite. Do we get any kind of benefit from this? No. Do we have any neutral impact? No. The malarial parasite on human or any human, but we definitely get the negative impact. So this is kind of the interaction is known as parasite. Brood parasite, we know the example of that. Cuckoo means quail keeps their eggs in the crow's nest. So this is kind of brood parasite kind of interaction. Okay, so the same thing is with the parasite and predators. Here the same thing is with the protocooperation में jackals, right? Jackals feeds on remaining food of the lions. This is also the same thing, because here lions, protocooperation, no, this is not the protocooperation. Wait a minute. Sorry. Just a minute. Shit. Just a minute, sorry for this. Okay. So this is not protocooperation, this is commensalism. Jackal feeds, or the foxes also, jackal feeds on the remaining food of lion. right? So here jackals is getting the positive benefit while the lions is not getting any kind of benefit or the negative or the positive. Okay, so the next is parasites in the predators, like lion predate, lion और deer का जो relation होता है, right, lion and deer interaction. तो लॉयन क्या करता है, डियर का डियर पे ऐसा प्रे और प्रेडेटर रिलेशनशिप होता है, राइट? सो देयर इज वन ऑर्गेनिजम्स गेट बेनिफिट व्हाइल द अदर हैव नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट. सो द नेक्स्ट इज कंपटीशन. दिस इज बोथ intraspecific, like within the species, intraspecific and interspecific. Okay, on this kind of interaction there are various possibilities. So there was a scientist named Gauss. Gauss gave the competitive exclusion principle. Gauss, that's also known as Gauss competitive exclusion principle. What this principle says? What this principle says? Exclusion principle. What this principle says? This principle says, this principle says that two of species living on the same area or dependent on the same resources for the survival or something, they cannot coexist for a really long time. So one of that species will exclude or the overcome the other species. That says through the Gauss exclusion principle. Okay, so there was a lake in the South America. So there was a lake in South America. So the local population of fishes, local population of fishes and the migratory fishes and the migratory birds feeds on the same kind of zooplankton. So they creates a competition for the resources, right? So through the competition there can be coexistence also. Coexistence, the possibilities of coexistence, the one of that exclude. So one of that exclude or the overcome to other species. So how this interaction is minus and minus. So somehow directly or indirectly both of the species have to compromise, okay, on the same resources. So this kind of interaction impacts both species, not very positively or negatively, but the coexistence and the exclusion principle. And the last is amensalism. The amensalism is negative and zero. Okay, so one of the species will be negatively impacted while the other will be just not any impact. Okay, so how we see the example? We know there is fungus known as Penicillium notatum. Penicillium notatum release chemical known as penicillin. Okay, known as penicillin, that is antibiotic. That means पेनिसिलियम नोटेटम एक फंगस होता है जो कि रिलीज करता है केमिकल, दैट इज नोन एज पेनिसिलिन. इनहिबिट्स द ग्रोथ ऑफ बैक्टीरिया. Right? So here bacteria is negatively impacted while the fungus Penicillium notatus is no impact. Okay, so this kind of interaction also exists in the black walnut species जस्ट आई डोंट रिमेम्बर, ब्लैक वॉलनट स्पीसीज की जो रूट्स होती है वो भी काइंड ऑफ केमिकल रिलीज करती हैं, जिससे कुछ प्लांट्स लाइक एप्पल और समथिंग की ग्रोथ इनहिबिट हो जाती है. सो ब्लैक वॉलनट पे तो ऐसा कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं पड़ता. सो ब्लैक वॉलनट इज दिस स्पीसीज, बट द ग्रोथ ऑफ एप्पल और द एप्पल स्पीसीज कम impacts negatively. Okay, so this kind of interaction. Commensalism has been asked very frequently, and the mutualism asked also in the UPSC in terms of some kind of statement formation or the kind of interaction they apply on each other. Okay, so हम लोगों ने क्या complete कर लिया? हम लोगों ने ecology में what we have started, that how ecology forms individual, okay, that makes individual or single organisms, that makes the population composed of single species, then community, okay, then ecosystem. It also includes biomes, and then biosphere. Okay, so population we have completed. Now let's study the ecosystem. What is ecosystem? What we study in the ecosystem? Ecosystem is a functional unit. It's a functional and self-sustaining unit and self-sustaining unit, okay, of the ecology. So what we study in the ecosystem? In ecosystem we see or we study the interaction of the individual organism or the population of the surrounding, right? Interaction of the individual population of the surrounding or the other organisms with their physical, with the surrounding physical environment also, like interaction of interaction. In short, if we say interaction of both biotic and abiotic factors with each other, that we study in the interaction of both biotic and abiotic factors of a particular area, okay. So what are the biotic and the abiotic factors? Abiotic factors, the climate consists light, temperature, rain. Then edaphic factor, where we study specifically soil related, okay. And the next is topography, okay. And biotic factors are again producers, consumers and decomposers, okay. So this interaction differs the kind of organisms. So there are mainly all the living organisms can be defined in kind of three categories, okay. So what are the three categories? What are the interactions? Temperature is very important factor for majorly if we see the kind of organisms living in any kind of particular area or something, okay. So temperature is very, so these are the conformers. Here we study conformers. There is short but very important terminologies also that will be related with each other, okay. So there are conformers, these are the regulators, and these are partial regulators, Regulators. Okay, what are they? Conformers are that organisms who doesn't have the ability to maintain their internal environment, depends on the external environment. Okay, so if the external environment is changing, okay, so they will not survive. They will have to, they don't have the ability to change their internal environment. Okay, so they don't have the process of the homeostasis. But the regulators, 99% of organisms comes under the 99% of organisms comes under the conformers. What are the regulators? Regulators mainly are the birds and mammals. They have the ability to change their internal environment according to the external environment. Like they can survive in changing the environment. So that's a birds and the mammals comes under the regulator. Partial regulators, they don't have that much ability, but they have ability to limit up to modify or to sustain up to a certain limit. Okay, so इसके example इसमें कम आपका आता है plants, invertebrates. Okay, plants, invertebrates, fishes, etc. Okay, इसमें आपके squirrel एक होती है, squirrel and screws are some of that example. Do we need to write the definition, or I am just telling you conformers doesn't have ability to sustain in any kind of in some different kind of environment. They don't have the ability to maintain their internal temperature accordingly as changing the external temperature. Okay, so accordingly, so there are kind of activities they do. Either they migrate, okay, like Siberian crane. We have heard this term, right? Or diapers or dormant condition. What is this condition? What they do? Reduced metabolic activities, right? Metabolic activities. And other, what they do? How they survive in such kind of environment? Estivation. We have heard this, right? Estivation. This is also known as the summer sleep, right? Hibernation. Reptiles, fishes. There is organism salamander, that is amphibian. ये सारे एग्जाम्पल किसके हैं? एस्टिवेशंस के. ओके, हाइबरनेशन, पोलर बियर इसको कहते हैं. दिस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज द विंटर स्लीप, राइट? पोलर बियर. So what is the diapause or the dormant condition? In some extreme kind of temperature, the organism cannot survive. So these are the kind of process the survival can happen. We have seen suddenly in the rainy season we see the lots of earthworms. They just go the estivation in the summer sleep because their skin has very very thin, so they cannot survive in high temperature, so they just go in the summer sleep, and in the rainy season they come out of that. That's the same thing with the hibernation. Like hibernation, they reduce it. This all comes under the diapause or the dormitory condition. Okay, so hibernation is also known as the winter dormant. Okay, so polar bears reduce their metabolic activity, or just you have heard the many bears just collect their foods and feeding things in the summer, and they just go in this long sleep in the winter season. Okay, so this is the kind of survival technique. In ecosystem, the functional aspect of the ecosystem. The functional aspect of ecosystem. What are the functional aspect of ecosystem? The first is productivity. As I already said, the ecosystem is self-sustaining unit. Okay, so how it's sustained? Input of energy. Productivity is input of energy occurs through mainly plants, and then it moves. Okay. Plants. Of course, if there is something is going productivity, so there should be some kind of material that need to be destroyed or the decomposing. That's mainly done through the bacteria, fungus, fungi and other microbes, right? Because it is self-sustaining unit. Then there is energy flow. We will study in this food chain and food web. Food chain and food web. And the fourth is nutrient cycle. And the fourth is nutrient cycle. Okay. So these two kind of nutrient cycle, gaseous and sedimentary. We have heard about it, gaseous cycle and sedimentary. Gaseous means the cycle of oxygen, right? The cycle of carbon, the cycle of nitrogen or the water also. Water cycles also comes in the gaseous cycle because of water vapor. And the sedimentary cycle, we study about the phosphorus, because phosphorus is not found in the form of the gaseous, right? It is found mainly in the form of the phosphate, where in the rocks, and the sulfur. Okay, we will cover this fourth thing, the functional aspect of the ecosystem, in our next class. Thank you everyone.